Taurus, welcome to your February forecast tarot reading. Let's dive right into this and see what your February is going to look like. Oh, all right. We have, oh my gosh, banish a curse. What is going on here? Wow. Okay. I am going to look at the guidebook for this one. I've never had that one come up. You might be closing out some type of karmic situation, event, something like that. That feels like world card energy, moving on. I mean, Eight of Cups, Ten of Swords, lots of different things. Woo, woo, wow. I see those daggers. It's like victory. So we have Geneva. She who radiates knowing, ambition, and confidence. I love this card. It's one of my favorites. Banishing a curse. That is wild. I mean, that's definitely some good news if you're, you know, experiencing that. Okay, so you have boundaries coming in. Okay, boundaries. This is actually, I feel like it's a good card. I know it's black, but this is all about establishing healthy boundaries. Seven of Wands just all day right here. Leo energy. You know, putting yourself first in a good way. And maybe this is the catalyst. Maybe this is the key to banish this curse here, Taurus. Holy smokes. I want to look at that. Banish a curse. That has never came up. Okay. Oh, use this card when you feel like you need extra help removing the bad energy lingering around you. If that's what you're feeling here, focus on the wheel in the center of the card. It represents the power of transformation. That would be Death card, Scorpio energy. The swords have locked it in place and the wheel cannot move. Envision pulling each blade out and turning the wheel clockwise. The four snakes are untangling their bodies and are set free. The wheel is now moving, and the blossom in the center can draw the nourishing energy it needs. This is about releasing blocks. We could see the Four of Pentacles come up in here. There, there could be forgiveness. So the book also says this card could symbolize unfair treatment towards you. A person who has a strong influence in your life has mistreated you or fails to see your point of view. And it could also come from within. We know that too. The actions of others speak for their misalignment, not yours. And you have the power to choose how that impacts you. Your worth does not change based on other people's state of mind. Ooh, so yes, self-worth. And Taurus, that's one of your cards, the Six of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get right into this. For Taurus. Yeah, that Geneva, she who radiates knowing, ambition, and confidence. This is the energy to draw on to establish these firm, healthy boundaries. Five of Swords. Oh, goodness. Three of Pentacles. This could be a work situation for some of you. And the Chariot. Oh boy. Five of Swords, not my favorite energy. I've talked about this before. It's like a win at any cost, you know. Queen of Cups, Cancer here. Queen of Wands, a lot of Queen energy coming in. There's that ambition and confidence, I feel like. The Six of Wands, you have victory on victory with the Chariot here. So the Queen of Wands is very much a healing energy. It's really interesting because she's looking at this situation, this conflict, right? Because this is a Five of Swords. Maybe, this is not being honest with yourself. Maybe this is about being around people who are very cutthroat. It could be that you're expected to be cutthroat in your family. I don't know. Something like that. I feel like something here, this is what you need to heal with the Queen of Cups. This is deep, deep emotional healing. It could be that someone, I feel like they misrepresented themselves or what you would be doing, something like that. I'm not a big fan of the Five of Swords. It's, I don't know, it's the wrong kind of ambition. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this Five of Swords, I don't necessarily feel like it's inside of you. I feel like this is outside of you, an environment, something like that. It could be the industry or whatever you do for work. It might be very competitive in that way, very cutthroat. Um, so this Queen of Cups is looking back on just life. The Queen of Cups is reflective. All queens are reflective. But this is in a way that deals with maybe your conflict of emotions inside. I'm getting a lot of different messages here. The Queen of Cups has turned these swords, you talked about removing these swords, and into lessons, because that's what we do with the past to make ourselves stronger. And she's turned those things into pearls of wisdom that we see here that she has adorned herself with. So it's about seeing the positive side of things, letting the past be a teacher. That's what I'm getting there. That's part of that banishing a curse, the whole thing, the whole reading, really. So we have the Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. I feel like this, you're problem solving here. I'm not sure if this is part of this Five of Swords, trying to figure out how to navigate that situation. But the Three of Pentacles is about creativity and teamwork. And the Queen of Wands is about doing things your own way, not waiting, just getting started. You'll learn as you go. And so I feel like with this journey here, this path, you are learning as you go. And it does call on you to be brave, to have some type of ambition. Maybe you have more ambition. Maybe it's in a different direction than what was expected of you. Something like that is what I feel. And this is also about following your happiness. With the Queen of Wands doing what makes you happy, maybe what you're passionate about. This could be a passion project. And, this is also, if you think about this, it's about putting your work on display. If we see these people, the thing that she's working on there, that doorway, that portal, it's going to be for everyone to see. So there might be some conflict within you here regarding your ambitions and your integrity, like what you're willing to do to have this success over here, because it feels like you are very driven to do something. But with this kind of drive and this kind of passion, it could be that someone might be exploiting you here, or maybe taking advantage of your either creativity or your willingness to get the job done is what I'm feeling here. So make sure you're staying in that sense of knowing your worth and having fair, good and fair boundaries, and not letting someone or something overwork you. Trying to get you to stay late but not pay you, or stuff like that. So we have the Chariot and the Six of Wands, double victory here. I know this is showing a wedding scene. Pay no attention to that. Oh, and this card has been coming up a lot. So this is victory. It's Six of Wands, Jupiter, Leo energy, and it's recognition, accolades. I think what you're going towards with this Chariot, you have drive and focus. You've got your mind set on something, and I think you will have it. This drive and determination to get to this point is part of that ambition and confidence. But I think this is asking you to stay true to your heart and to not sacrifice your integrity. I think you obviously there's something here that, and that banish a curse, it could be temptation. I'm almost getting a devil energy now. And this is saying don't cut corners and don't sell yourself short. This is not so much about this destination here, but it's really about who you become as you are working towards this goal, this success, this victory here that is clearly in your mind. King of Cups now. So we have a divine pair with the King and Queen. This could say that you're coming into balance with yourself, your masculine and feminine, your light and dark. Or there could be a person here that is very supportive of you. This is that Three of Swords. When it was saying you need to remove these swords to get things flowing again, that's the image I had in my mind. Two of Swords, indecision, possibly. But it's saying trust your intuition here. Trust your intuition. There's more options than what you can currently see right now. You're thinking it could be that this or that are my options, but that's not all. Ooh, High Priestess. Okay, that's some more Cancer energy coming in here. The Ten of Swords. Yeah, there's that banishing a curse. There it is. And the King of Pentacles. There you are. Taurus, you're doing this by, I think, knowing your self-worth and sticking to your integrity, not selling out for whatever this is that you're going for, being true to yourself. So we have the King of Cups and the High Priestess. This, for some of you, could be, I'm thinking a spirit on the other side that's wanting to communicate to you through your third eye, your dreams, psychic abilities. You might be getting messages. I think they are very supportive of you. Whoever this person is, could be a father figure, something like that. That's a message for some of you. I just got the initial J. So King of Cups, Scorpio energy, very deep. Once again, in their emotions, is someone who's very emotionally mature. You might be getting advice from them. I think this person, if it's not you, they're very supportive of you, very loving, very comforting. And you, like I said, you might be going to them for advice. They could even be some type of clergy. I'm thinking shaman. I mean, it's not a term we use a lot, but they seem to be spiritually inclined. Some type of spiritual helper is what this feels like with this High Priestess energy crossing it. The High Priestess is Cancer energy. It's very broad intuition. She's got the Book of Secrets here and those sphinxes on the chariot. It's about the mysteries of the universe. And so there's this sense of knowing here, and we have it right there. She who radiates. I think you know what your true calling is, what your path is. And like I said, it's really coming through hard to not take shortcuts, to follow this path all the way, because it's all about the journey and who you become to reach your goals, not necessarily the goal. Because if you think of it this way, the High Priestess knows that you have infinite possibilities, and if someone else has achieved something, most likely something you want to do, then you can do it too. And so there is this acknowledgement, I think, within yourself that you know what you want to do. You've got this drive that is pulling you in a certain direction, quite possibly. And so that's what I'm feeling here, this infinite possibilities and support from at least one person that really, it feels like they really care for you. Okay, Three of Swords, Ten of Swords. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Talk about banishing a curse, right? This is that right there. It's the Three of Swords, removing those swords, allowing this wheel to flow again, allowing this heart chakra to open up, because we do have the Queen and King of Cups. This is, most likely it's your energy coming into balance, removing those swords, taking the lessons, leaving the rest, and ending your suffering with that Ten of Swords right there, that Gemini energy. The Ten of Swords, it's Gemini, but it's sun energy. It's sun. This is a good thing. You possibly torturing yourself, with whatever that curse is for you. It's going to be different for everyone. But this is finally just letting it go, is what this is. Because the Ten of Swords is something ending. And it's really, really done. There's no going back. You don't want to go back to that type of suffering and pain and heartache. finally just letting it go. I mean, how often do you see that combo? You know, it's the perfect one in many ways if you're needing to see that. So, what I see here is the end of indecision, because we have it crossed by the King of Pentacles. That's you, Taurus. And so I feel like you're coming into who you've always meant to become. The King of Pentacles has gone down the road of experiencing all those pentacles, to whatever extent you have in your life, and he knows his worth. You better believe it. And he's patient with the process of abundance and creating the life he wants. He or she, doesn't matter. Very honest and very persistent energy here. Small steps every day. And so the Two of Swords here, like I said, I feel like this indecision, I think it's going away because we have these cards of very strong intuition with the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess. I think you're very clear now. And I think you trust your intuition to a great degree because the King of Pentacles is definitely, I think really successful people really, really trust their intuition. If something doesn't feel right, they're not going to do it. You know, they're really in tune with their higher self. You know, they don't second guess themselves. If something doesn't feel right, they're not going to do it. So we have a lot of self-worth here, and I feel like you're seeing clearly. I really, really do. Because if it was reversed, it might say that there is some type of indecision in you, but I feel like you've reached some state of equilibrium here. Seven of Cups, the Four of Cups, and ooh, the Sun. There we go. We talked about the Sun already. Let me move this down. Yep. Happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday. Yep. Okay. You have the Chariot again. This just flopped out. And the Eight of Pentacles. That's good. That is really good. Oh, we had just had a card fly out. Let's see what it is. Four of Swords. There's that. That healing, that R&R. Yep. Swords have been removed. Something is healed here. Look at that. That it truly is banishing a curse. And finally just taking that sigh of relief that it's over. Yeah, the Chariot twice here. Yeah, victory. Oh yeah, you've got it right there with the Six of Wands. So victory again. And this is what I was saying about you having a clear mind, because we have the King of Pentacles on top of that Two of Swords. I think when these opportunities come up, the Seven of Cups, it could be, you know, being spoiled for choice, having tons of opportunities coming your way. There's also a little bit of fantasy here, daydreamy quality. But I think you're going to see these options clearly. You're going to know what's for you and what isn't. And you're going to act on the ones that feel right with that Chariot. You're going to see through this cloudiness here. I don't think there's any illusion. I think that has been broken, if there was any illusion. And look at that. I think you're going to have victory here. I think this is about choosing wisely and, you know, really trusting your intuition on things. If something doesn't feel right, you're not going to do it. That's what I'm getting here. I think you finally conquered something, and it could be your temptations, because let me tell you, there's temptations here with the Seven of Cups. You know, there are so many things in life that we know we shouldn't do or eat, but we do it anyway, you know. And I think you're moving away from the bad decisions and trusting your intuition, but you have victory and success there. You're probably seeing more options. The Four of Cups shows a figure here that is not happy with their current situation, the choices they made. We have these cups here just kind of really looking at it. But the problem with the Four of Cups is not doing anything. It's just sitting there, not really embracing all the opportunities and knowledge that's all around them. Look at all these books. And we have other elements up here. We have more cups. I think there's almost looks like two cups up there, but it might just be one. So I feel with this being crossed by the Eight of Pentacles is you breaking free of this type of energy, because we have this banishing a curse. We have you removing these swords, possibly obstacles, negative thinking, and we see this Eight of Pentacles energy is a path to mastery. That's the path that the King of Pentacles is on. And so this is saying that we have these blueprints and things. I feel like you're putting action towards changing your situation. Instead of just accepting it how it is right here, you are opening these books. You're adding to your, your value, your personal value, your skills, instead of just sitting there and hoping and wishing for a raise, or hoping and wishing that something will change, but not putting any action towards it. This is saying you're actually doing something. And by you doing something here is what makes all the difference. It could be that when you release whatever this is that is troubling you, when you finally release that and banish this curse, because this curse is going to be different for many of you. When you do that and you see things as something you can work on, something you can fix, or something you can change with that Eight of Pentacles, that path to mastery, learning, that's what opens the door. It feels like that's partly what's breaking this curse. Brandishing a curse. I feel like it's breaking a curse. And look at that. Happiness and enjoyment. And finally, sigh of relief that whatever it was is over with that Four of Swords. I mean, this just feels like oh, geez. Why did you hold on to it for so long? It could just be not knowing your self-worth, not having healthy boundaries, but finally putting all those things together, you have victory. Amazing. Truly an amazing reading here. Let's see what your bonus cards have to say. If you're curious about any of these cards, they are all listed in the playlist description. There it is, breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. This is all about letting go of stuff that's just not serving you. It's not good for you. Like I said, all these cards are listed in the playlist description. While you were over there, do check your sun, moon, and rising signs to see what additional messages are there for you. Time and energy is fluid, not linear. So there's probably additional messages for you there. All right, let's see what we have. Thorns. Weathering the challenges ahead will begin a new and positive future. There it is, those thorns. It's that Five of Swords. It's that Four of Cups. It will show you your strengths and weaknesses, these challenges, right? And then that's where we grow. That's how we grow. So when I see challenges and things like that, it's like, here we go. This is something we can work with here. One with self. There it is, blossoming. So that Queen and King of Cups, that's that you becoming whole. That's what I really feel here. One with self. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Chair filled. Someone new is coming into your life there, Taurus. We have hills, obstacles to overcome. Yep. But you're doing it. You are doing it. And we have scales. Keep your life in balance. This reading is very much about balance. Balancing your emotions, balancing your integrity. I feel like that was a big theme with this. So there we go. All right, Taurus, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.